Can an AI-first developer add real value to an old, deprecated legacy codebase? Find out today. Before we get started here, I want to take you in just a quick look on exactly the problem space that we're taking. We were tasked to work in legacy code this week and reinvent it for a modern AI experience by adding 6 new high-value features that will add value to business. Suite CRM has 5.8 million lines of code, including code that I've added, markdown files I've added. It is based in PHP 7.4, in JavaScript, XML, CSS. It is a Goliath of a project. My goal in starting this project was to try to understand the problem space. First thing that I did is decided on a niche. Basically learning about the project, looking at open issues in Suite CRM, doing a chat GPT voice chat, and understanding a large legacy code, understanding the actual architecture of the code. You got the presentation layer, the application layer of the MVC controller, which basically controls most everything in this application, from emails to campaigns to AORs. You also have the API layer, which wires into the sugar bean object relationship manager, which interfaces between the API layer, the database layer, and the AOR reports. From there, you've also got things like Elasticsearch and other framework components here. A little bit more in the MVC architecture. You have an HTTP request, which goes to a controller, which either feeds to a sugar bean model and ultimately to the database, or to sugar view, Smarty templates, and an HTTP response, depending on the specific request. Let's talk about the code. Suite CRM, it's been updated slightly over the last maybe 9 years or so, but not by much. And so the first thing that we did is build a brand new part of this platform called the conflict search. Conflict search lets small office attorneys search on whether they have a conflict of interest. Why is this valuable to attorneys? Well, you can get all kinds of malpractice lawsuits if it is found that you are representing someone in a court case and you have a conflict of interest. You can not only lose your retainer, in some cases you can actually get fined and sued by the person that you're representing or other parties. Basically the number one thing that was recommended to implement. And so here you can do a new search, you can view all searches, you can do statistics and searches, things like that. This is going to use an algorithm to give you a confidence score on the type of search you're doing, and it's going to kind of let you know, hey, should I be taking this case or not? Now, this is going to save attorneys time in doing their own searches for contacts, accounts, and cases, because it layers it all into one. Feature number 2 was a billable hours quick entry. Suite CRM uses these things called dashlets on the homepage. There's dashlets for all kinds of different things in Suite CRM, but there is not one for setting up billable hours. So let's say you're selecting a case, you can basically do an AI assist to kind of figure out, hey, what should I do here? Let's say you want to enhance it further. You can do that as well. And let's say that you now want to export a PDF of that document. This is going to give you a direct PDF of the actual case itself. We thought this feature was valuable because it added really just a time tracker, and it added an export functionality, and it added a way to log time. So this allows attorneys to save time, paralegals to save time, actually getting those invoices out to customers. Okay, let's get into our document generator. Attorneys, they're busy people. We want them to have the ability to generate drafts of legal documents. Let's say you wanted to have a retainer agreement. I'm the client and I'm getting charged with murder. Whatever. But anyways, we are going to click generate with AI. We're going to kind of let this thing cook. And what's going to happen here is it's going to directly generate the document right into our documentation. It's going to be all AI written. Oh, just finished up. Boom, right there. There's the retainer agreement. Here's like all the actions of the document. Pretty cool. The next thing that we're doing is a case winnability analysis. We can click into one of these cases. It's its personal injury claim. And we were trying to figure out, as an attorney, should we take this or not? Okay, here's the notes on the case. Here's the subject of the case. We're gonna get this little AI winnability analysis, looking at specifically the actual facts of the case. And it's giving you a little bit of a breakdown. How strong is the case? What's the evidence? What are the legal factors? What's the complexity? What are the timeline factors? So an attorney, if they say, hey, my case winnability analysis is 20%, maybe I don't want to do this case, or maybe I just want to pass it off to somebody else to look at. The feature really added value because, again, attorneys are busy. They're in court, they're trying to answer emails, they're trying to run around to meet with people and have consultations, they're working late nights, sometimes weekends. Any little bit of time savings is a value add for these attorneys. Okay, our final two features of the application. First feature is we completely rebuilt email for smart AI email summarization. If this was an attorney's email, these emails will be categorized into urgent, court, client, prosecution, and deadlines. And you can see here, when you read the emails, there is an AI summary that comes into this. You can look at the full email. You can also reply to the email. Why does this matter? Attorneys are getting a ton of emails, a ton of marketing emails, a ton of emails that simply are not pertinent to their business. Do I actually need to worry about this email right now, or can I look at it another time? And so that is the whole key about saving time and helping to make more money. Now, on to the final feature for Suite CRM. We added in a compose feature, but not just any kind of compose feature. This is a smart compose feature. So this is going to take in the cases that the attorney has. And let's say I want to do a client case update, and it just makes it easy for the attorney to use AI to actually generate these email components. Those were the primary 6 features I added. Now, other things that I did along the way, I built out some things for each feature, talking about what it did, what part of the system it went into, how it actually benefits people, what module extensions were used, how the feature works, so you guys can understand the features. We also did things like building out code analysis, so our AIs could actually understand the API layer, the business logic layer, data integration layer, the module system layer, the presentation layer, etc. And we relied heavily on documentation between our markdown files, our deep wiki files, our high-level sort of architecture documents, and everything in between. Final thing is our brain lift. We went through every day what I was doing, like ChatGPT voice conversations I was having, research I'm doing, architecture overviews, trying to find the real pain points so that we could document the work end to end on the entire project. The problem space, we know it's about to grow significantly into a $466 billion space over the 9 years. There's a huge market to be had here. It's a very underserved market, so we thought it was an appropriate use of an older CRM technology. Switching costs are a big thing. So how do we build on top of it? Well, you get an AI first developer and you say, go at it, see what you can do. The last thing I'll leave you with is, after doing this project, I feel confident that I can come into any code base, understand the code base, and add critical features that drive real business value and outcomes. Thank you so much for your time, everyone. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.